I'm your favorite devil's advocate, Jen. Welcome to On the Block with Jen. Jen, where can we find you? Where else? On the Block with Jen, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Okay, On the Block with Jen, all across social media platforms. On the Block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to send me a topic, if you want to collab with the block, whether it be an interview or partake in an interview, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. I get a lot of good stuff in there, so I may miss yours. Okay, sorry about that, but I pick whatever I think is good for myself and my panel to dissect. I appreciate all the email. I can't pick all of them, right? Can't pick all of them. We are pressed for time here because we have lives outside of YouTube, but I am forever grateful. If you want to support the show privately, because a lot of people don't like other people seeing where their money is going or their support, you can cash at me privately on the Block with Jen. It is scrolling at the bottom. That is where you can be discreet. I won't blast you, but I do have to say thank you to the people that have cash apped me on the low. I appreciate you. I see you. You guys know I send you the heart back, so you know I got the cash app. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want your comment to be highlighted, feel free to super chat me on the chat. Bottom right $ of the chat box. Throw your super chat in there. We will see your comment immediately. We'll blow it up on the screen and we will dissect. You can also join us on the panel to rebut, contradict, or agree. We don't do avatars here. We don't argue with these people. What the fuck y'all mean? We don't argue with avatars, okay, or people hiding behind cartoons, okay? You have to show your face. Faces make for a much better conversation. But you're more than welcome to come up. Just don't act the monkey ass fool here. Because the people that have in the past, it just wasn't nice, right? It just wasn't good. Hold me down, chat. Good to see you guys here early. Tonight's going to be spicy. Tonight, some feelings are going to get hurt, but that's how we do on the block, okay? It's not for the faint of heart. Sometimes it hurts. It hurts to be here. Sometimes it hurts to watch, but you know what? Sometimes pain is necessary, right? For us to improve. Improving and changing is not easy. It doesn't feel good, but I promise you, every night you'll learn something new, as do I on here. We don't know everything. We're just sharing our experiences. If you are here for the first time, buckle up, honey, and welcome. If you subscribed recently, thank you. Good to see you here, okay? I hope you enjoy me and my panel. We really are the most diverse, interesting panel on YouTube, and you can challenge me on that, okay? We are not an echo chamber. Everybody has their own opinion. We don't have to agree. Sometimes we vehemently disagree, but it always ends in love, right? Because we grown over here. We's grown, okay? Some people have come through, didn't survive the block, and never came back. We wish them the best. Everybody else, what up, baby? Let's do this thing tonight. Again, spicy, spicy, spicy tonight, okay? If you got your feelings hurt, just throw it in the chat or a super chat. We will see. We'll figure it out together. Yeah? Yeah. Let's get this party sorted, okay? We're going to talk about dating. But we're going to prefix it with some interesting news I got yesterday in my DMs, okay? You tater tots got some splendid to do. You Andrew Tate supporters, or you guys that ran out and shaved your head to support Tate, got some splendid to do. So we'll see, tater tots. If you got an explanation for this, you masculine men, you men that are all about the bravado, big dick energy, you got some splendid to do tonight, tater tots. Without further ado, let me bring up mi gente. Here we go. The always lovely and talented recently celebrated a birthday. Miss Thing on the block. YB Limited. Hi,
Hello.
Lily. Hello, darling. I'm giving them a little color and a little purity. What you think? A little bit of both, Lily. A little bit.
Like we traded spaces today.
A little bit of both. I'm like, I'm usually not this bright, but I had a little energy drink. I came back from the gym, Lily. I hit the gym hard today, and I'm so fucking proud of myself. I went in there. I was like, yo, whatever this trainer gives me, I'm going to fucking do. I did it. I'm feeling like, bam, bitch, bam. I'm feeling good tonight. Yes. I'm feeling good. I always say, Thank you. I always say I go to the gym. Why? Because I enjoy having options.
Right.
And when you look good, you have more options in life. I don't complain. I don't complain about who doesn't want me and what I can't do. I make the best of what I have. I take my ass to the gym because I like options. Doesn't that sound easy? You want more
Very,
options, right?
very easy. I
Right?
was thinking you went back in for like another round of what was it, lipo and what was the gastric bypass?
Yes. Listen, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, this guy did say in my comments that I'm not really 50, which I'm not. I'm 49. But he said I'm about 38. I just had a good gastric bypass and some lipo. So I think, I think it's really, really cool that now we've worked so hard. We got the exposure to the point where people are accusing us of having surgery that never happened. And let me tell you, honey, if I ever got some lipo or gastric bypass, I'd fucking tell you, because what you gonna do about it?
Right.
You still gonna pull up to see what Jen got to say, okay? But no, I haven't had any surgery thus far. Okay. And we had someone here last night who actually had a BBL, and she was gracious enough to give us a lot of information on that. So if you want to learn about that straight from the horse's mouth of someone who did it, that is yesterday's stream. Okay.
Yeah, she did an excellent job. Thank you, Ruth, because listen, I put on like 2 pieces of makeup today. I didn't have no time. I literally just like bloop bloop. Okay, put my lipstick on and go about my business. I didn't have time.
Yeah, but when you hot, you hot. See, we could do that. We could play that game. Let's bring up the fellas who are so patiently waiting backstage. Haran and Marco, what's up, gangsta?
What's up? What's poppin'? What's good?
What is going on?
I see
No
you got
saint.
you got the typical Puerto Rican head wrap on today.
Is it? Is
Yeah,
that what I'm doing?
I dated like 4 Puerto Ricans with that same comment.
Listen, I am obsessed with how women dressed and did their hair, wore their scarves in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love that look, right? I love that look. So I'm like, that's what I'm giving y'all. I'm giving y'all a little 70s.
Yes,
Georgie Porgy. How are you, George?
I'm doing well tonight. Considering the subject, I thought I would pick an appropriate name for myself tonight. Chad Thunderstroke. So
Chad Thunderstroke. Oh, you swinging out. You coming out swinging.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Georgie.
George is coming out. I love the confidence. We will see after tonight's stream who's A, B, or C. We shall see. I said people are going to learn something about themselves tonight. We shall see, because a lot of people in denial on where they stand in society and in life and in the dating pool. We're going to find out tonight who's who. We're going to find out tonight. Thank you for the early super chat, Dwayne Rose. How are you, darling? Let's get this party started. I got some visuals, guys. I got some show and tell. Yeah. Really quickly in celebrity news, I saw something today I found interesting. Maybe we could kick it around a little bit before we get into the main topic. Kanye West. Yeezy, yay, right? He's very, very upset because his daughter, Northwest, she has a TikTok account, right? Which is not the healthiest place for any child, to be quite honest, right? China got it right. They don't play that shit out there, right? But here, you know what I mean? It's like whatever you want to do, whenever. I always say this is clown country and the clowns thrive in this country, right? It's a whole other topic. But, most of the clowns are on top of the game in this country, whether we like it or not. It's not the most studious or intelligent person on the cover of Vogue. It's fucking Cardi B. Okay, let's keep it real. It's not the most studious or talented person speaking to presidential candidates. It's Cardi B. Okay? This is the country we're in. All right? So let's deal with it. All right. So Northwest, Kanye West's daughter with Kim Kardashian, has a TikTok. Most recently, she did a voiceover video to a song by Ice Spice. For all you old folk that don't have your ear to the streets, Ice Spice is a rapper. Very vulgar. Her signature move is bending over, showing everybody her crotch, and then rubbing it with her hand. That is her signature dance move. Michael Jackson had that kick in the moonwalk. Ice Spice caresses her pussy for the audience. That is her signature move. So Northwest felt it appropriate to, thank goodness she didn't bend over and caress her crotch, but she was mouthing the words of Ice Spice's lyrics. Gassed. Kanye West didn't like it. So he went out in public and said, God darn it, that is what I was talking about with the Kardashians. I don't want my daughter being a victim of TikTok or Disney. Look at what my daughter's doing over there. Strangely enough, let's reminisce a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, let's reminisce a little bit. I don't know, I strangely recall North West's mother becoming famous for showing her ass and tits, right? Now, I have nothing wrong. Get it how you live. I have nothing wrong with sex work, soft porn, whatever it is you want to do. But I don't know. If I had a child with someone that does soft porn or hardcore porn, I mean, they did sell Kim Kardashian's sex tape to Vivid Entertainment. Vivid produces porn. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking my child would be at risk of doing some really vulgar things, right? Especially being on TikTok. So I just find it strange. I mean, Kanye's even put out a song talk about she's a hoe. I like hoes. His whole career was built on, you know what I mean? Saying some pretty vulgar shit. But now, like Cardi B, they want to protect their children from that dirty, nasty world where people have all kinds of sex. So with that said, I'm going to pass the mic. What do you feel? What do you feel about Kanye being upset now that his daughter is following, I don't know, her mother's footsteps?
I mean, her mother and her father's footsteps when it comes to being an attention-seeking individual. I mean, I don't think we can be surprised by that. I mean, it's kind of like if she wasn't an attention seeker, it'd be kind of a shock. But the time to be concerned about your daughter and how she's going to turn out and things like that is prior to fucking without the condom.
Yes.
It's prior to choosing not to do the plan B. That's when you might want to, prior to procreating is when you may want to consider who you're going to procreate with. Okay, that's the first thing. The other thing when it comes to Northwest, and I've been noticing little things too. Her being on TikTok actually disturbs me.
Okay, why so?
First of all, I don't really like children on social media in general, period. That's just my stuff. And that's because I'm protective over children. And I just like children to be children, really. That's it. I just want them to be children. And we as adults know how difficult it is to be on this app. And then what makes it even worse, or makes it more disturbing for me when it comes to Northwest is if you go, any of you go to her page right now, you're going to see massive amounts of adults commenting on this 9-year-old child's body.
She is 9 years old. Good.
And she doesn't present as a 9-year-old. That's the other part that's disturbing. She does not present as a 9-year-old. There's a lot of and I see little innuendos too throughout. We interweaving throughout her social media too. That, well, if you didn't know her mother was a porn star, you wouldn't be surprised if you found out her mother was a porn star. And I mean, like, it's small little things. Like example? I have to go back through because this has been a while. Only time I see her is when she kind of comes up, and then I'm like, oh, wow, okay, that's interesting. I'll go through before, like, while someone else is talking, I can kind of point out what I've seen over time. But, so it's little things like that disturbs me. What disturbs me the most, though, is the adults that feel like it's okay to comment on a child's body. They over sexualize her because they'll accuse her of being too overly sexual or inappropriate as far as like what she's wearing and just little things. It's just creepy and it's disturbing. And I understand where Kanye is coming from. It's just hard to take him seriously based off of a lot of antics and shenanigans over time. So it's like, okay, is this just another Kanye moment, or does he have a real thing, a real gripe, or is it a little bit of both?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Fellas, do you have anything on this? If not, we will move on.
Yeah, I think Kanye's situation is it's very fascinating because he's held in such high regard by a lot of guys in the manosphere, but he's literally the definition of what they call a simp. Though he married a 304, he dated 304, 304. He basically messes with mostly hoes. He gets cheated on by mostly hoes. He pretty much gets dragged out here, and he's kind of right now in a beta position. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As his wife is basically doing whatever she wants to do. It's just a very fascinating thing because, technically speaking, Kanye West is more of a simp than Will Smith is.
Oh, there goes that name again. Elaborate.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I mean, Will didn't marry a porn star. His wife cheated, but
this is true.
You know, I mean, the same thing could be said about Donald Trump. Donald Trump literally married an escort. Technically speaking, he's a bigger simp than Will Smith. I mean,
George may disagree. That Melania was selling cooch.
Okay.
I didn't know about that, but
I was about to say the footage, but the photos did show up, and there was no denial, and so on and so forth. Hey, look, I'm the type of guy like, get it how you can or whatever, but let's just be fair. Let's not be as they say, practicing selective outrage. Just,
that is the theme this week for the next couple of weeks. That is the theme: selective outrage. So again, Northwest is 9 years old. She has a TikTok with her mom, Kim Kardashian. They often dance together and do voiceovers together. And sometimes Northwest is on her own, performing on her own little TikToks. I think, as the Kardashians are a freaking empire of, people who are talented or not at not having talent. That is how they made their money. And I think that those women really are machines, just like their mom, like they're constantly having children to keep it going. It's nepotism in a twisted way where it's like you got next with the attention, getting the attention talent. And they're just pushing these babies out. And as soon as these babies are old enough to touch a keyboard, as we can see, they're on TikTok. So yeah, she had the little wig on, you know what I mean? She's imitating Ice Spice. George, no Saint, you got anything on this? 9 years old on TikTok, imitating a rapper whose signature dance is caressing her pussy.
Well, yeah, the only thing I until I found out she was 9, I had a different take if she was 15 or 16, because I was thinking about, if we had TikTok back in the day, we would have been on there in our time singing, "Hey, we want some pussy," or "Throw that D," or something like that. So the song didn't bother me, whatever the song says. But the fact that she's 9 kind of bothers me. That's really early. Second thing, TikTok, I'm telling you, man, I'm not this guy. I've never been this person that's China. They are influencing us in so many ways. It's a bad app. I don't have it. I don't have that. Now, I can't say, Erica has it. I'm just like, I don't want, and then you hear what they're feeding to people here. And then it's not a private company. It is a private company, but it's also got links to the Chinese government. So they're watching everything you do, and they're enjoy feeding it into what's happening. But yeah, the age is extreme. Nobody 9 years old should have that kind of access.
Yeah. George?
Like No Saint, when I heard that she was 9 years old, I was really concerned. The thing about Kanye, I don't really follow his career all that much, other than the obvious stuff about him and Trump and all this, and then the anti-Semitic comments that he made and all that. But it's kind of like what's the old saying? When the chickens come home to roost. I got a better one. Okay, back in the day when I went to church in a Southern Baptist church here in Florida, they would say this. They'd say, Kanye sowed his wild oats, and now he's praying for crop failure. And he's showing up with his daughter. They're like, yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Because
like
I think
Chris Rock said, you got to look at them at 4-year-old that they're not going to make it. Abort. Abort.
Yeah.
oh my god, that joke. Woo. Don Levon, this is interesting. Don Levon says Northwest has signed her first movie deal alongside her famous mom. The 9-year-old landed a role in the upcoming Spin Master Entertainment sequel, Paw Patrol. Chris strikes again. Kris Jenner, the momager.
Oh, you know, another thing too, thinking about this, with her being 9 and other 9-year-olds on this app and things like that, this young girl is sheltered, very, 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 very sheltered. Okay, somebody probably had to feed her who Ice Spice was. You know, she probably so sheltered she don't even know, and so she's highly protected. But then with these other 9-year-olds, not so much. And you know, so it's like with seeing her on there, I could see if I was 9 years old, I'm like, well, North gets to do it. And oh, you see, North's mom is not even in this one. I should be able to do it too, you know. So it's kind of normalizing that. And I just don't like it. I don't like it.
Do you think that she's sheltered, or she gets a lot of time when she's with the nanny to be online and find these artists herself?
Okay, and then that's a whole nother, because I'm picturing her as being sheltered. But yeah, that's a possibility. Possibility. Yeah.
Another thing that I noticed that these artists do, female rappers like Nicki Minaj did it, Ice Spice is doing it, Katy Perry has done it. What they do is to have a broad audience, right? That teeny bopper audience, is they act or look or dress like children. Katy Perry for many, many years did the big pink poofs and the poodles and the cute little outfits, the little baby doll outfits, almost very childlike, where if a child was 8, 9, or 10, they're going to gravitate towards that because it looks like they're dolls. Looks like they're doll houses. Nicki Minaj did the same exact thing. Hey, Barbies. Hey, Barbs. Did a lot of pink hair, you know what I mean? A pink chicken wing chain, pink, you know, puffy and pink. And it attracts little girls because it looks like the toys that they have at home. Everything is pink and fluffy and cute. Meanwhile, you know, these women are talking about eat my pussy, lick a dick, while they're dressed in these cute little doll outfits with the pink. Katy Perry did it with the, you know, she's shooting shit out of her tits and stuff like that, all the while dressed in pink and looking cute. And little girls gravitate towards that because it's marketing. It's pink, it's fluffy, it's glow in the dark, it's cupcakes, it's candy. Oh, look. And they do that. And I think Ice Spice, with that wig that Northwest has on, she looks like little Orphan Annie. That's what it looks like. She looks like little Orphan Annie.
Her look freaks me out.
Yeah. So, you know, they use that as a lure to get a broad audience, but they're trying to target kids on purpose. A lot of the pop stars do it. Then they get a little older and they target the LGBTQ. They go gay for pay. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Bitch, you're not gay. You and I both know that. Nicki Minaj did the same thing. Targeted. Oh, she's a lesbian for a couple albums. She's knocked up by a guy, though, isn't she? A lot of pop stars do that. Madonna does it. A lot of pop stars are gay for pay. Melania Trump did it. When we go back into her records, you know what I mean? She has soft porn laying in the bed with women. She ended up with a guy, right? So a lot of pop stars do this. This is how they market themselves, and you have to be careful when your children are on these machines, because these pop stars want your children. They want your children.
And speaking of which, what makes Nicki even more disturbing, she did 2 or 3 videos with a known pedo, and it was very Candyland-esque. All of the videos she did with this particular Tekashi person was very Candyland, doing all of the kids stuff and boop, 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 boop. And but then with these strong sexual overtones that go with the Candyland, it was so disturbing. And you're doing it with somebody who is known, and then you're constantly being married to one, around one, protecting one, doing a video with one, paying, and these are different pedos. Let me and that I'm naming,
Mm-hmm.
you know, paying lawyer fees for one. You know, like one pedo may be able to slip under your radar,
Right.
and you be like, "Oh, I didn't know," but now that I know, but constantly.
Oh no, Nicki Minaj is the pedo hero.
Yes.
Like she's Captain Save a pedo. Like her brother is one a sexual offender, did time or is doing time right now as we speak. Her husband, who she married, is a convicted rapist. Tekashi 6ix9ine, she worked with him. You know what I mean? Infamously, Nicki Minaj is problematic, and she marketed for many, many years, still does, to little girls. Okay.
And she looks so pathetic now doing it. She always like she's stuck, like they stuff her into everything now. You ever notice that?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So just be, you know what I mean? Be vigilant. You got to look over the shoulder of your children and see what they're watching. I was a very overprotective parent. My advice is, you know what I mean? Like, these kids don't want to feel left out. So if they must be exposed to it, you as a parent better start teaching birds and the bees in turbo mode, right? It's the same thing I say about relationships. Open up your fucking mouth and let people know what's out there. Because here's the thing. We can only protect our children, but so much. They're going to see shit. Even if you're protecting them, their little girlfriends are going to have phones. The boys that they play with, they're going to have phones because their parents aren't as strict as you. And they're going to be exposed to this. So I'm a no holds barred. Okay, this is what prostitution is. You want to go see a documentary of what happens to strippers? You want to see a documentary of what happens when you do drugs? And you have to start young because these kids are on social media at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. So you being the parent, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to talk to my daughter who's only 8 about sex. Someone else will. And it can be Nicki Minaj or a Katy Perry or a Ice Spice. Someone else is going to expose your child to highly, highly sexual material. So you better get there first. That way, when they see it, they're like, oh, well, mom talked to me about that, or my dad talked to me about that already. So, you know what I mean? Even though they're being hypnotized by pop culture, at least they have that chip in the back of their mind where it's like, I know what this is. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. So it's important. We can't wait for that birds and the bees talk. 9 times out of 10, when you introduce them birds and the bees, your child done seen porn, done got kissed, done got shown something in school. I mean, the first time I heard about sex was in school. Okay. Like, you know, this girl in particular in the class was coming back and telling us stories about her sexual escapades. And we were like, oh my God, I didn't learn it from my parents. I learned it in school. So pon ojo. Okay. Watch the babies. So moving on, Dwayne Rose said Barbie for pay. She sure was a Barbie for pay. All right, guys. So let's prefix our conversation tonight. You're up, tater tots.
You're about to come flooding in.
That's what I call Tate supporters, tater tots. So I have a visual. I have a video that is now being spread around of your hero, Andrew Tate. Okay. I notice even like some of our panel regulars and some of our chat fans, they go missing when we start having these conversations, which is so weird. Kind of strange.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they just go missing. It's like whenever we have evidence about one of their leaders, like Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate, they just go missing. The chat is you can hear crickets in the chat. So weird. So weird. All right, so let's play this video and dissect it before we get into the main topic. I thought this was really, really interesting. Kind of surprising coming from Tate. I love how Tate actually like drags his own supporters and they just keep loving on him. It's weird. Like he drags them bad. Like you broke boys. Like he drags his supporters bad and they just keep coming back for more. Goes to show when you look good, you can say just about anything. Here we go. This dude is such a tool, but they love him. Listen up, because I'm only going to play it one time.
Ignore the construction. I'm rebuilding my mansion. You'll see when it's done. We'll do an episode of Cribs. I had to get this area here. I bought my neighbor's house. I had to construct a specific area for the Bugatti. Anyway, that's all gonna be lit up and shit. Bugatti logos. You broke boys don't know. Listen, I recently posted a question on Twitter asking, would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, 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 because they think they're going to be gay if they do anything else. But they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a dick. That's the tranny. Or Hulk Hogan with a pussy. That's the girl. This is the question I'm asking. Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan? So you're thinking, well, I don't want to be gay, so I just clicked the girl, the number 1, did it? You're gonna fuck Hulk Hogan? Okay, yeah, there's a pussy, but he's got mustache and muscles and shit. He's all hairy, big dude, 6'5". It's pretty gay to me. That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's a pussy. That is gay. Whereas Megan Fox, okay, he's got a dick, but maybe you can like scoot it out the way. I'm still Megan Fox. You know what I'm saying? At least she's small and shit. You can get your hand around her neck, mess her up. You ain't messing up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's gonna mess you up. So this is the question I'm asking. You need to operate on a higher plane. Think about this. This is important. This is cultural. This affects the world we now live in. What is straight? What is gay? It's all a big sliding spectrum, isn't it? Because if you're gonna sit here and go, oh no, it's gay to bang Megan Fox with a dick, I counter that argument. It's gay to bang Hulk Hogan with a pussy. So which one is it?
Ooh, that's a great pitch for having sex with a transsexual. I don't know about you guys, but that was a great pitch. I wish we had some tater tots in the room. I really wish we had some tater tots in the room. I need them to explain this to me. That was a hell of a pitch, okay? To sleep with transsexuals, right? Or trans women. I'm going to pass the mic.
Well, if he's pitching, I'm not catching. And send all them tater tots overseas.
Well, he may be catching though. Never know.
And he can do whatever he likes with whoever he wants.
Who knows?
I'm just saying, like,
He said it's a sliding scale.
right.
I'd like to ask him, Andrew, are you trying to tell us something? It sounds to me like you're projecting. You're like projecting your own thing out into the, maybe, you need to come clean, Andrew. Tell us all about it. Tell us how you crossed over, took a walk on the wild side, bud,
We're interested. Chia Lee said, he said Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan, Fox all day. He said Megan Fox with a dick, honey, with a dick, not just Megan. He didn't say just Megan Fox. Megan Fox with a dick. So are you all day with that? If you are, that's cool. But I just want you to.
Oh, he's all day with that.
Okay.
He's all day with that. That's why he said it. He's all day with that. So all day, all night.
We want to be clear. We want to be clear what was said. He doubled down towards the end of this commentary. He wasn't vague. I know, Haran, you said earlier that the tater tots may say, he was just joking. No, that was a really detailed explanation. He even said that he thinks on a higher level because he thinks that. Okay. He said higher level, not once, but twice. Okay. And then he went in.
Yes.
Very enlightened. And then he went into what is sexuality anyway, right? Sounds like a pitch to me. Sounds like someone may be coming out soon and he's getting ahead of it.
Yes.
So just in case Megan Fox with the dick comes out and says, I had some of that, he could be like, hey, remember that video? I said that already.
Well, a couple of things I want to say on this. First, that's the third time I saw that video. I saw some other videos with him. He's obviously thinks a lot of himself, but I also think it's wrestling. All it is, all he's doing is doing what the wrestlers do on WWE, WWF, or whatever, and he got people following now because nobody can be that much. Nobody can think that, like, the things he says, to me, that's not who he is. I don't know who he is. I'm just saying this things I think on a higher level. Really? That's what that, you're not, what are you solving by saying this? The second thing I want to say, and I might have told this, I think I've told this story on here before, of my Uber passenger who liked chicks with dicks, but when some gay guys were with him asking him, he wasn't interested in the guys. He liked chicks with dicks. So there is something, I'm not saying what he's saying, maybe he is projecting, but so his question is, does that mean you're gay? Maybe not. It might not mean you're gay, because this guy was adamant, like, no, he liked women too, but he liked chicks with dicks. And when his gay friend or gay friends or whatever said, no, come on, you can be, you like, but you're gay. He's like, no, I'm not gay.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Two different things.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's just, I kind of, when I was listening to, when I peeled back all the stupidity and things he was saying and things I despise about people who think that way, as far as, he thinks he's on a higher level. He's not. He can fight and he's got money, and he scam people. Okay. And I saw the video where he was talking about stealing money from guys, talking to him and it's despicable, right? Because you're messing with and I don't feel sorry for him. Why should I feel sorry? I mean, he's a disgusting person. But to that question, it doesn't have to be you're either gay or you're not gay if you wanted to sleep with Megan Fox with a dick, because maybe that's what you like, and you still might be like fluid, as Lily likes to say.
Well, to me, it's like the question is, which flavor of homosexuality do you want to practice? That's really what his question was.
Okay.
I mean, Lily, you can fill me in from your side on how that breaks down. But to me, it's like both of them are technically men, I believe, right? Or was one a cis woman with a penis? Is that what that?
Yeah, I mean, I always say a cis woman with an enlarged clitoris. But no, seriously, gay men, unless they're sexually fluid, are not attracted to trans women. And I think that's hard for society to get, because it's that they're stuck on the penis, right?
Right.
And so that's why it's hard for them to get around that. But when a man who's attracted to women are attracted, men are visual. You know that men are visual. So that's what they're attracted to, mainly. And then, especially if it's a situation where they meet a person that is attractive, they start striking up a conversation, they're at a bar, they're at a bus stop or whatever, right? They're striking up a conversation because they're striking that conversation up because they found this human to be attractive.
Right.
Then the conversation makes the person even more attractive. And then the person discloses, hey, before we go any further, I need to explain that I'm trans. And they're just like, well, I'm already in. I'm in now, right? Because I like what I see. So 9.5 times out of 10, even though they will tell you something, a lot of will tell you something else publicly, because I think about that. They don't give a fuck. Unless they do, right? Like and so I'm saying, let me be really clear.
Yeah.
All heterosexual men are not attracted to trans women.
Right.
But 9.5 times out of 10, a man who's attracted to a trans woman is a heterosexual man, but never a gay man. It's nothing that they can do but go shopping, pretty much. Like, it's just, it's two different things.
All right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to touch on that. Oh, go ahead.
I just really wanted to talk about the hypocrisy and the brilliance of the video. Maybe he didn't even realize just how brilliant the video was, but there's also a deep-seated hypocrisy in it. For as long as I can remember, the perspective of the trans community is exactly what Lily just said. They were saying their perspective was that most heterosexual men if they see a person who carries feminine energy or who looks feminine, will be attracted to that. They will see this and it will be like, this is a woman, regardless of genitalia. Now, here's the kicker. Andrew Tate basically presented the same argument. So was it really about the argument, or was it really about who gave you the message? Because I see a number of guys in here seeing Andrew's point, but you didn't see the point of the trans community when they were basically telling you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to ask yourself a question when it comes to messages. Like I always say about people, I always watch people. I watch people. A lot of times it's not really about the message. It's about who's telling them the message.
Amen, amen. Atheist, amen.
You know what I mean? It's really about who's telling them the message that dictates whether they climb on board or not. Because Andrew basically presented to you a gorgeous woman with a penis or an horrendous looking woman with a vagina. And if you go with the gorgeous woman with a penis, that means that you're not worried about the genitalia. You're just worried about what looks like a woman.
He even said you push the penis to the side.
Exactly. So
That's what he said.
So if you chose that, you're basically pro-trans. And
So,
Andrew basically told you that.
Right. And I'm glad he said it. If you recall, a couple years back, Malik Yoba got dragged for saying he was attracted to trans women. I mean, dragged. And the man is black. Ooh, okay. Got
and
dragged.
Handsome.
And handsome. And here's the thing, and we love Malik Yoba. He is a friend of the show. I did interview him. If you scroll back, maybe a year or two, I did interview him. It was an amazing interview.
You did a very wonderful interview too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I was so happy to see him here. He's such a sweetheart to me.
He's nice behind it because him and I have had talks. We've never done anything. He's always been very professional, polite, and all of that.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. So, he did say on a radio show he was attracted to trans women. And here's the thing. It's fucking common sense. It goes back to what you said, Haran. Even if you're heterosexual, right? I'm attracted to men. I'm attracted to manly men. Sade had a daughter who is now a trans man. As a man, that motherfucker's fine. Okay? So if I were to see him at a bar, because I'm a heterosexual woman who's attracted to manly men, and I was to see, this Sade child at the bar, I'd be like, he cute. Right? I don't know what he has underneath his zipper, but aesthetically, I'm like, he's fine. So it's the same thing with men who are heterosexual and are attracted to women. If there's a trans woman at the bar or at the party or at the restaurant and she's attractive, a man's gonna be like, who that?
Mm-hmm.
That's normal. How this got so fucked up to you gay? Like I don't know how it's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. Like trans women and trans men don't run around with the genitalia hanging out.
And neither do cisgender people.
Like we just, you know what I mean? You're attracted to what you're attracted to. But everything got all messed up. No, Saint, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, and also to what Haran was saying, like I saw a musical a few months ago. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it was something about with shoes, some red shoes, something. Anyway, it's I guess it's probably a pretty good, famous play. Anyway, it was
Messy Boots.
Yes. There you go. Thanks.
He said shoes. It was close.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, if it's shoes, I know about it.
He said something about shoes. There was some shoes in there somewhere.
The lead actor in that, who played the lead character, had an energy. You would think, and I don't know the history. I met the family outside, as a matter of fact. His family came in from Florida, and that my son's, but oh my God, the feminine energy, like Haran said, it was attractive. It was attractive. The way she moved like a woman. I'm telling you, the dance moves and everything. And it was like, God dang, man. That, you know, and so even that, you don't even have to be like, I remember there's every once in a while you're watching somebody like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the man or the person dressed as a woman, like I said, I don't want to say, I don't know if they're transsexual or not. I don't know that. I can't remember the actor's name.
Tim Curry, darling. Tim Curry. It was Tim Curry, and he played Darkness in Legend, for the record.
Oh, okay. But the way they move, the way they come off, I mean, it's that feminine energy. There's attractiveness about it, even though that person really wasn't a good-looking woman. You know what I mean? So even you don't even have to be necessarily fine to have some attractiveness, feminine energy, as you know, if you're transsexual or if you're playing a transsexual, you know. Yeah. So to your point, and the problem is, or the thing is, that if a man, especially younger men, but you grow up and you don't want to say any of that because you don't want to be labeled, you don't want to be ostracized by saying, yeah, I thought that person was an attractive person that is of the same sex, you know. So it's kind of it doesn't mean, and yeah, I don't have to say anything else, I guess.
Here's my thing. If you have no issue going down that road, that's your business. I'm not here to judge anyone. However someone moves is how they move. Whether or not I'm into it or not, that's not even part of the conversation. What I'm saying is that here you have this guy who basically said everything, basically presented you with a scenario that has been said before by the trans community, and you guys are just mum on the situation. You have nothing to say. And it just makes you a coward, man. It just makes you a coward if you really have nothing to say about this, because again, like I said, I don't judge people on, we all judge people. I don't judge people on their opinions and so on and so forth when it's easy to side with the majority. You know what I mean? I judge you whether, based on your opinions or whether or not it's to side with the minority. And my thing is like this, if this is your space, if that's Andrew's space, if that's how he sees the situation, if he would go with Megan Fox, that's his business. I wouldn't. Yeah, because I fucked some ugly chicks in my life anyway, but it was a woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's my argument. Hey, look, man, we all have blemishes on our record. Anyway, you know what I mean? So, but the point of the argument here is, at the end of the day, if that's your guy, then support what he's saying then. Sam Iron. If that's your dude.
Well,
don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now.
Thank you for the super chat, Chi Ali. I appreciate you, darling. George, you were saying?
Yeah, Haran, I understand what you're trying to say overall about, hey, you've bought in with Andrew Tate, his philosophy and everything. Why don't you just take it all the way through? But isn't it are you making the same mistake that where you've had this discussion with somebody where y'all are disagreeing, and then you say, but I do agree with this one point you just made. And then they say, well, basically, no, sir, you can't buy the one encyclopedia. You got to buy the whole fucking set. In other words, if you agree with me on one point, you have to agree with me on all, or either we're diametrically opposed.
That's a good argument.
It's an argument, and it would be under normal circumstances. Okay. But when you're dealing with these fandoms, who you're already running behind a bunch of nonsensical bullshit anyway.
Okay, yeah.
And you done went up to 99.9%, and then you want to have some common sense. Oh, okay.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, okay, Lily with the save. Okay, because I was with George. I'm like, a broke clock is right twice a day. I'm a fan of Candace Owens, but I don't agree with everything. However, you would never see me slicking my hair like Candace. You will never see me running around with a T-shirt that says Candace Owens rules. You You will never see me getting a verbal fisticuffs to defend Candace Owens. I just think she's right a lot of the times. But I got to agree with Lily now, because the tater tots, and we've had some on the panel, it's a wonder they're not here today. We've had a lot of them in the chat. It's a wonder they're not here today, because if the subject was Andrew Tate is abusive to women, they'd be flooding me right now. Flooding.
Yeah.
But they're nowhere to be found when their Kang is talking about he'd choose a transgender woman. It is crickets. And I know some of them are watching right now. Hey, Tater Tot. Not a word, not a peep from a place called Queens. Not a fucking peep.
No.
Where y'all at?
And it's just very interesting. And I do love Haran's point. It's based off of who is delivering the message, because some people want to hate the trans community so bad that no matter what we say, it's going to be wrong, it's going to be shot down, and they want to love this man so much, no matter how crazy it is, they're going to uphold it and uplift it. So that's all it is, and we're just pointing that out. We're just pointing out the disparity in it.
See, here's what makes you a sucker. If you just don't say anything at all, you don't have to stand with them. You don't. You know, you could disagree with them. There's plenty of people that I do mess with, but I don't agree with everything. But I still say I still mess with the dude. I still mess with the woman. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. I don't just act like it's not there. That's what's happening right now.
Right.
Right. Everybody's acting like you just didn't see that.
I know, they're walking past it like.
And that's what makes you a coward. That's what makes you a coward. And that's why I don't respect you. And that's why I can't stand with you on certain things, because guess what? The moment this thing turns into something real sticky and something real uncomfortable, you right out the door. So I can't stand with you. I can't respect you.
And let me take this another step further. I've always suspected that a lot of those fandoms, and I'm talking about the ones who are quiet now, but they're usually pumping fists when he's like saying the most derogatory things toward women. I've always felt like they secretly, or not even so secretly, hate cisgender women in the first place. The way that they just pump their fists anytime he says anything negative or anything disparaging about a cisgender woman. It's fist pumping and all this other stuff, you know. So that has always led me to suspect that they don't like women. So why should it be such a stretch to think that they will just sleep with the Megan Fox with a penis? Because obviously the ones who are carrying vaginas, y'all have a real big problem with. So be honest about something. Like,
look, listen. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. There is a place in the world where guys are put together, like the manosphere, where guys are put together and they talk about their problems and they talk about their issues, and and after a while they become very clingy to each other and they seek emotional support, and after a while certain lines get crossed. You know what that place is called? It's called prison. So a lot of you motherfuckers are adopting prison culture in this manosphere, and I'm going to explain why. You get in these huddles and clusters of men, you start sharing things, and you're crying and talking about we're going our own way, and then you get angry at women and so on. So there's something a little bit suspect about that, man. I'm just saying, like, you can look, listen, we all had issues with women. I have, but I have never given up on women. It's never gotten that bad for me. It's never gotten that bad for me. I don't hate women. You know what I mean? They get on my nerves. But, you know, after after maybe a day or two of, you know what I mean, just chilling by myself or whatever, you know what I mean, we're right back in the game. But it's just something about that culture that just doesn't, it's just very, so a lot of things are very peculiar. And I've seen a number of things. And I will not name any names, but there was a particular gentleman who came up here, you know what I mean, maybe a week or two ago. He was very adamant about, you know what I mean, about the importance of attacking women online. And you know, recently we saw his IG, and he had some very suggestive very suggestive
Oh,
photos.
you talk about Shorty with the locks who came up
Yeah.
here talking about women should be attacked. That guy.
So Twan was really in his feelings, man. You know what I mean? So that's that. It was a number of things that were just very interesting. But anyway, like I said, there's just a number of things I just watch from afar. You know what I mean? In that group, man.
Yeah, I think that, and I could be completely talking out the side of my neck here, but I do believe like there is homosexuality light or gay light, because just layman's terms, common sense. If you talk to a man who's very vitriolic and hateful towards women, he's going his own way, he prefers the company of other men, you're not exactly gay, but you're kind of like dancing on that little line, right?
Well, sexuality is a spectrum.
Yes, it is.
I mean?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Andrew Tate said, you know what I mean? Higher level thinking.
Jen, you're on to something. You're on to something. So,
topic.
Yes, definitely a topic. So this is the thing. Those men remind me, because I've been around and I've seen a lot of things. So it's like, after you see the color blue a number of times, that's blue when you see it. Why do you know it's blue? Because you've seen it a million times. So it's certain things that I'll see and I'm like, oh, I've seen that one before. I see. And when you said gay light, before you said that, that's what I've been going over in my head. I knew what I was looking at, but I was trying to figure out how to word it to you all, because this is something that me and Bessie talk about a lot. And one of the things is, so there is a real big thing called, it's not called gay light, but that's a real thing. And they fit the mold. And those type are the
Lily, they're gayish.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. They're gayish, right? What they do is they get to a point where they end up using women for procreation and men for pleasure.
Ooh.
And that's a really big thing. Okay. And what that looks like is they may not have intercourse and they may not do oral, but they do like the jack circles and the things like that. Like they'll get off with each other and with that bro energy, but they won't take it to the line of actual sex.
Okay, and aren't there like I know, like in college, like don't guys do that? They get literally in a circle jerk. They all stand around each other and beat their own like dicks until the first one, whatever. It's like
I went to college. No, I never did that.
On the 2 train, or the 3 train, or the 1 train.
Oh shit! Okay.
At a certain time of night, it becomes Jack Circle City. Like that's a normal. Like that's a big. Oh no! Don't let me go to your city. No, saying it's a big thing. Like it's a big thing. And so I'm listening to this, and I'm like, okay, how do I introduce this to the public? Because this is such a common thing in the community. It's so common. It's literally like it's so common. And so, and those guys typically they fit that mold. And sometimes I'm always like, I question whether I bring stuff up because I know if you're not in the community, you're not going to understand how common it is. And I know I'm going to be like, oh, you're reaching or you're projecting or no, bitch, this is my life. Like I've been living this for a long time, and I've seen a lot. And those guys fit that mold that they don't like women, but they still are attracted to women.
Man.
Or are they just afraid to take some dick, Lily?
I'm learning.
Maybe a little bit of that too.
Let me tell you, honey, a dick in the ass hurts. I get it. I get it. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart.
You're saying that's going on the subways? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I heard about the rambles in New York, but I didn't realize the subways were getting...
Look, I'll tell you as a person who, I've been in the music industry since I was 12, okay? These dudes are lying.
Let's just say it.
I'm not even going to get into it. These motherfuckers are lying. There's motherfuckers walking around right now who are still in the game, still known still have a degree of clout, I guess, or a degree of influence, and that person used to date a trans woman.
Yeah.
And there's men in the game who used to have gay lovers. There's a certain mogul out there who him and his, ex-artists, they're constantly getting into arguments, and if it looks like a lover's quarrel, there's a reason why it looks like a lover's quarrel. You know what I mean? Anyway,
What did you say? What did you say, George?
I heard from or saw on the internet the rumors Puff Daddy or Sean.
Yeah. There've been rumors on him being gay forever.
Eddie Murphy. I don't know.
Yeah.
The story on that.
Anyway,
Eddie started that shit.
Anyway, that's a whole different. Anyway,
thank you for that.
All these dudes is lying. Anyway,
thank you for the super chat. Don Levon Darlin says, "Wait, the circle jerk is a real thing." Wow. Pause. Yeah, it's a real thing. They stand in a circle and they beat their dicks to see who comes first. I guess
they're each individually doing their self, or are they doing the next guy
themselves? They're doing themselves.
They do both.
Okay, the one that I heard of, they do themselves, but I guess the other guys, they take it a step further and jerk each other.
Yeah,
and now I'm gonna tell you what trips me out now, that with the Twitter the way it's now, they just wide open on Twitter now. They just wide open and do it on Twitter now. And I'm talking about even the stuff on the subway, they all of they're just wide open. It's it's a lot.
Jen, we were talking about mattresses. You can't even ride the subway.
I can't even ride when I go back to New York now. I can't touch the poles. This is terrible. I can't go anywhere. I can't. I'm just gonna walk around in a fucking bubble. I do want to answer this question before we move on to the topic with our second hour. Where is it? There you go. Do you think MGTOW is the solution for some men? Okay, what if some men can't get women? Should they go their own way? So here's the thing. I like dealing with what the fuck is it, right? So I'm like, I heard a lot of different definitions for MGTOW. I keep it fucking simple, stupid, right? So I Googled what's MGTOW. The definition that comes up on Wikipedia says, anti-feminist, misogynistic, mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from women and from a society which they believe has been corrupted by feminism. That is what Wikipedia is saying. So that's how I'm going to deal with it. Okay? If you have a different opinion, throw it in the chat. So is it good for men? I don't think anything, and this is men or women, not gender specific. I don't think anything that feeds trauma or rejection is a good thing. I thought MGTOW was just like, hey, I'm sick of trying to be with women. I'm going my own way. This sounds to me like a hate group. Like, I hate feminists. I think feminism ruined the world. I don't want anything to do with them, so I'm going to be misogynistic. I don't think any kind of group, whether it's a group for women or a group for men, that feeds that is good for you at all. I thought MGTOW was just like, all right, peace, I'm out. Right? Like, kind of like being an incel. Like, I'm volunteering not to fuck with y'all. Mm-hmm. Right? So no, I don't think that MGTOW is a good thing. However, I do think if a man, strange what I'm about to say, but I do think if a man, no matter what, cannot relate to women or get with women or date women or have sex with women, there's just no way. He has no way to do it, no skill, no plan, no looks, no nothing, which is a great segue for our next topic. Then he should go his own way. But I don't think he has to join some misogynistic hate group, anti-women, anti-feminism group to facilitate that. Just go your own fucking way. But that's usually not the case because people are bitter about not relating to the opposite sex. So that's my answer to you. Anybody else can jump in. And if not, then we'll go.
Well, what do you think about CNN saying women are only attracted to 20% of the men? CNN just released a report saying that.
It's
Yeah, I sent
cold.
that.
It's cold. Dress warm.
Yeah. I think, is that the thing I sent to you, Jen? That CNN talking about is it the video where the guy's talking about I think he's talking about the dating apps and everything like that.
I didn't click on it. I saw the headline. Yeah. Did you know, Saint?
Yeah, I watched it.
All right, so give it to us.
No. It was basically the reason I sent it to you, because it was a lot of the stuff that you talk about here on the show. I'd have to rewatch it to get everything they were saying, but I think that's the same one that Haran was talking about, where there's more and more men getting left out, and
there's been a lot of those studies, though.
It's danger. It's becoming dangerous to society.
It's just the Pareto principle. At the end of the day, it's just a mathematical principle that pertains to pretty much everything in life. Like even at any company, only 20% of the workforce in any particular company is more productive than 80%. And it's basically saying, like anything in life, it's basically saying that this is wheat and chaff. That's just all it's really saying. That I think there's an argument here where people are just feeling left out. And are you really feeling left out, or are you just swimming in the wrong pool? I think that's another discussion. That's
to Black Republican, I answered it. I don't care if it was CNN who said it, Oprah who said it, your mama who said it. It's a cold world. Dress warm. So with that said, great segue into the main topic tonight. All right, guys, let's get into this. Okay. It's literally a theory I came up with on the fly last night, because that's what I do. All right.
Good one.
Chalk it up to being a New Yorker bitch. I think on the fly. Tonight's topic is, are you in dating denial? This is our topic for tonight. Are you an A, B, or C contender dater? Are you an A, B, or C contender dater? What's A, B, and C? Layman's terms. A, you're the guy no woman wants. Don't want you at all. Nothing you can say, nothing you can do. Don't want you. That's you, the guy in the tank top. You are A. Then there is B. You're the guy that has to work a little harder to get a woman who's kind of interested, right? That is you. Play up the romance, bring the flowers. And then there's C. The guy that A and B can't stand. He's been called all kinds of things, from simp to asshole, or the bad boy. You like bad boys, right? This guy gets a lot of hate from A and B. Now, that is C there in the black tight shirt. You can obviously see he's well built, got that long neck, so he got to be at least over 6 feet, right? You can always tell them necks on them tall men. So we have, are you an A, B, or C contender dater? A, B, and C straight across the board. Now, yesterday someone said something interesting in the chat. He said, well, the problem with the B's, the B contender, is that they don't like having to work when the C doesn't have to. That is what he said yesterday. And I found it very interesting, because I think a lot of men think that. They resent the guy that can just walk in the room and make the pussies wet. They resent that guy. They're like, hey, why do I have to be romantic and buy flowers and work out and take you on dates that are more than coffee, if that guy is walking in and your panties are wet? And I'm going to pause right there, because this shit is so good and I have so much to serve. I'm going to pass the mic. That is A, B, or C. Which one are you, gentlemen, in the chat? Which one are you, gentlemen, on the panel? Putting y'all in the hot seat. Are you A, B, or C? And we will judge.
I was all three at one point in time in my life. I'll keep it 100.
So who are you now, Haran?
Well, I'm a C, dog.
Okay, explain. This is the hot seat. I want to know why you're a C. I want to know why you walk in and you're part of that 20% that women want. Let's hear it.
Well, of course, not all women are going to want me. That's mathematically impossible. But if we're dealing with the majority, yes. You know what I mean? First of all, I walk in them with a degree of confidence. If you don't believe that you can, you know what I mean, move in that particular space, you're not going to move in that particular space. Now, yes, I was that, you know what I mean, the other levels, you know what I mean, other areas of my life, because like I said, you know what I mean, everybody's not going to want you, no matter how on point you are. But we're dealing with, you want to get the majority versus the minority. So if the majority of women that you're meeting or the majority of men that you're meeting, you're hitting the mark, then, you know, it's safe to say, like, based on your batting average, okay, you're either A, B, or C. Now, eventually, you know what I mean, I became, what is it, an A? I bet eventually I became an A because I might have been emotionally unavailable. I might have, you know what I mean, had my mind set on other things. Sometimes the relationship fizzles out. It's a different situation. But sometimes, yeah, and B, sometimes it, you know, I had to do a little thing here and there to coax somebody or, you know what I mean, sweeten the deal a little bit more. It's just the game. It's just the way it works.
Talk your shit, Haran. Black Republicans say, I am neither A, B, or C. You are in denial, sir. You're definitely A, B, or C. And I would guess that you're not C, but whatever. Kevin Samuels Ghost, I saw a lot of people saying this on Facebook as well, said, I've never been a Chad or a Tyrone, but I'm realistically a B. A lot of guys said that they were B, and I think that's realistic. The guys that may have to work, you know what I mean, a little harder, buy the flowers, be romantic, good morning, beautiful, and things like that. You know, it's cold world, dress warm. There are men, okay, that walk in a room and a woman's initial reaction is A, B, or C. Sorry, that is how it is, fellas, okay? I don't care how much denial you're in. Soon as you walk in, we quickly compute in our minds when we see a man, whether he's A, B, or C. I've seen all three. I've dealt with all three except for A. I'm like, I don't know. No. The answer is no. I don't care what you do or say. No. I don't like your look. I don't like your lack of swag. I don't like how you speak. I don't like how you walk. I don't like how you talk. I don't like you. Not happening. Get the fuck out my DMs. And then I've dealt with B, who sometimes end up being the long-term boyfriend because he works his way through all. You're like, no, I don't know. He's romantic. He's giving a lot of attention, doing the little gifts. You know what I mean? Making himself available emotionally and physically. So you can, listen, you guys can still get you a girlfriend or a wife if you're B. And then, sorry, guys, there is the C. There's a man that walks in and we're like, he can fucking get it. I wonder what that mouth do. I wonder what his dick look like. You text your friends about him. You're like, girl, I met this guy. There are C's out there. That is just how it is. Now, fellas, guess what? I got good news. It's not all bad news. C is not a look. Good news. C can be 5'5". Right? C could not be wealthy. Good news for you guys. However, C is passionate about something in his life, which makes him attractive, right? Or he's well-rounded. He's an expert somewhere about something, or he's super, super confident, or he's short and he has money. Okay. You have to have something that's attractive to women in order to be a C. I don't care if it's just you got muscles and you ain't got shit else.
Homosexual.
You can have muscles.
That card, baby.
Listen, you can have muscles and not have shit else and be a C. Okay. You could have no muscles. You could be unsightly, short, but if you got money, you can be a C. But there has to be something. You can have neither nor money nor height and play an instrument and be a C, right? You could have a commanding presence when you walk in a room and be a C. But you have to have something. Okay, you have to have something. C is not a tax bracket. It's not all muscles and it's not all height. You have to have something. There has to be something that women find attractive. And you can be a C, so that's good news. The problem is a lot of you A's want to skip B and be a C. And because you're not a C, you take that out on women. But you can't fight nature. And I'm going to pause right there.
And I will take it a step further and say, in my opinion, B is the best place to be. And B is the best guy in the sense because C more than likely has been C his whole life. So he's that guy who don't put the effort in, right? He knows that thing is going to get him laid or get him a girl. Whatever that thing is that he has. He could be like super, super hot or really, really nice body or is super funny or really wealthy. He knows whatever that thing is going to do it every time. We've met those people. We know those people. They don't put any effort into anything, and because they really don't have to. With B, it's like he knows he's B typically, so he's going to pull out the stops and things like that because he knows that there's a C out there in the world trying to possibly get at his girl. So B really is like the guy who, to me, I like to, to get with because he's just usually more attentive and things like that, in my opinion.
Okay, so I want to go back to, thank you for the super chat, Fahim Jackson. Fahim Jackson says, dudes are mad at B having to work harder than C, but we A, B, and C women, there's the women who we allowed to wait at the finish line and get us as winners, then the others have to build from the ground up. Yeah, it's not gender specific, but we talking about y'all today. No Saint, George, A, B, or C. What are you? Now, I know Haran gave us that nice political answer. He should run for mayor in New York. But A, B, or C, George, and No Saint.
Go ahead, No Saint.
Okay. Well, I kind of said it last night if you didn't catch the show. But first of all, I think it would be really cool if A was alpha, B was beta, and C was cuck. But you flipped it. You made A the worst and C the best. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm a B. I've always been a B. I've always had to work for the girls that I wanted to date, or I wanted because I kind of do. It's not that I wouldn't date a girl in my lane because I would. Mm-hmm. But I've always shot for a little bit higher. So definitely a B. And I think the reason that you, when you're younger, don't like the C's, it's just jealousy. Like when you go to a club or a bar and it's a guy, a friend that you're with who's a C, and you just see how easy it is. You're not. You've got to really work, and if you're next to him, it's going to be a lot harder because then you're trying to work against him because they're really interested in him. It's just like having the ugly friend, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm definitely more of a B. I mean, I'm definitely not a C. So
okay,
where I've always been.
Georgie Porgy, what you walking in with big dick energy? Are you A, B, or C? What are you giving when you walk in a room full of women?
Currently, right now, I'm really a B. And okay. And like Haran said, I've been all three at one time. When I was a C, I'll tell you this, because like I told y'all before, struggled with my weight all my life. And then I lost about 130 pounds in a year, about 20 years ago. And going from women not paying any attention to me, I noticed it right away. Women started looking at me. Y'all might say that it was as somebody who's used to most of my life being ignored, overlooked, and then you definitely noticed the difference. And I remember these were nice looking women too, because one of my physical features that women tend to like is my caboose. All right, so I got one of those.
You got a booty, George?
Yeah, I do.
You need disclosing that to Jen, knowing how much she love the booty.
I'm all about. Okay, now one day you're gonna have to stand up and spinny for us.
All right, I'll stand and deliver for you.
Okay,
it'll be as bright as 10,000 suns, but Okay.
One day you gotta say, "Come on, I'm the booty girl on the panel now." George, continue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I'm a B right now because obviously Jen, I need to lose weight. Number one, there's other things I need to get right, like my money, because right now, as we know, dating can be expensive for a man. Okay?
Yes.
And so it's like, I'm one of these, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And so, you know, and having, I don't think you may not have seen this, Jen, but I sent you some stuff from this psychologist out there on YouTube. Psych Hacks is the name of the channel. And he said he got a study, and he said, I was reading it here just a minute ago. Women, it was called Women Want It All. Okay. When you start listing all the factors out, women, and basically the better looking they were, the higher their standards were. Go
figure.
And so, and he said, and in there, it was like that, like when you hear a woman talk about, when you say, what do you want a man? She says, I want loyalty, and I want this, and I want that. Well, she does want that, but that's like near the bottom of the list. Because what's at the top? Guess what's at the top?
Hypocrisy.
Can he? Is he good? Is he healthy? Does he make good enough money to support, to give me the lifestyle I want? All the really the practical things that you think about. And and so I think for the people who may be in the manosphere, really hardcore into this, I'd say this: go check this dude's channel out, because he has another video where he says, women treat men like men treat a job. And and basically what he goes, if you watch the video, I won't take the time to go through it, but basically women evaluate relationships like men tend to evaluate their job. And they
elaborate, please.
For example, he using the job, like I evaluate my pay, my benefits, the work environment. Is it helping me to get where I want to go in my career? Blah, blah, blah.
Hello.
He says women do basically the same thing in a relationship. They may not always be looking, but when they do look, they start going through and checking off all these little factors. And so that's why women, when they break up, when they finally make the decision to break up, it's like so surgical. It's like they pulled the trigger, walked in, handed the resignation letter, and said, peace out. I'm on my way to another job, So it's really what it is, So,
see, and that is why I said here, I've said it before, if you want to date me and you're not prepared to help me get to the next level, because all I got is looks for you, and I don't give a fuck who don't like it. All you guys that are like, what's she bringing to the table? Bitch, me. That's it. Okay? Me looking hot and sexy on a date, that's all I got for you at this phase of my life. So if you cannot financially or via your network or your connections take me to the next level, stay the fuck out of my DMs, because that is what I am looking for, or not looking at all. And that's why I'm not looking at all, because I'm working double time to get there myself. But if you want to be in my space and you don't come with that, fuck off to a woman who has time to waste. I do not. And that is why I said that. A lot of women aren't going to fucking tell you what it really is, but I don't have time to waste. I do not. Time is precious.
You get to a particular age, you get to that place where you know what you want and you have no problem putting it out there. But I'm laughing because I literally just had a breakup, and that's what the conversation sounded like. It literally sounded like being fired from a job for not having a good performance, and that you're not doing the company any service. And what's the company's like? Why is the company keeping you on, sir? Like, why is the company keeping you on, sir? Like, you're becoming a liability to the company. And so it sounded like that, and that's so funny. Like, I'm listening to, like, damn.
Yeah, it is, and it's and when I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck? But then I thought about it, and I was like, well, it's kind of like this. I think guys that are out there we need to start thinking about not what should be, but what is. What is, okay? Just kind of like we're all hardwired. I believe this. We're all hardwired to work a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. And so, anyway, Jen, question for you about the bees, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you think one of the things I think maybe the manosphere could help with is helping the bee guys figure out when to cut their losses, in the sense of they're going after the C-level chick, right? Mm-hmm. And he's doing all this, he's doing all that, and it's like, hey, you're throwing good money after bad, because she's just not into you,
right?
And you need to cut it, So I guess that point's different from each gentleman, but that's what I've kind of started thinking about. It was like, instead of chase them, and they freaking get tired of it. They ghost you, they avoid you, and then the gens of the world will tell you to get lost, but the thing is, it's like, I think where their frustration is that it's nothing wrong with trying to shoot for a better looking woman, right? Mm-hmm. But you need to understand that you got to pull the plug somewhere, and if she's not showing that attraction to you, move on. Don't waste your time. Move on. Let her go. And then you do your thing. That's my kind of like.
I love that. I love that, George. The problem with the manosphere is that they're similar to big pharma, right? They're not giving you the cure. They're not going to give you the cure because they have to keep you, right? They have to keep your attention. So long as they blame the woman, right? Long as they blame the woman, they keep you coming back because you're mad at the woman. You're mad at the woman that's a C. You're mad at her because she doesn't want you. So they're not going to give you the cure. Think about it. If you tell a man, think logically, just go back to your lane. If you can't get that, you have to cut your losses. Go back to your lane until you build up to be a C, or at least somewhere in that. They're not going to tell you that because the guy's going to be like, oh shit, makes sense. Now I don't need you anymore. But the manosphere is not going to do that because you'll go away and they don't want you to go away. Welcome, Miss Polly.
How are you guys this evening?
Really, really good. Good to see you. I do want to acknowledge this comment really quickly. Don Levon said, Jen, you have nothing to offer. That's not true. You offer a lot. That is true, right? But the reason why I say I don't have anything to offer is because nowadays, right, men want women to be their surrogate mamas. Right? That mama who's going to take care of them and cook and clean and be different and talk life into them. Men have this thing where they need to talk life into them. And I'm like, here's the thing. I talk life into people that are on my fucking team. Okay? I talk life into people where I know the relationship or friendship or business partnership is going to be fucking reciprocal. I have no time to supplement what your mama and daddy didn't do. Zero time. And a lot of men get into relationships and I need you to talk life into me. Motherfucker, if you didn't come here already prepared to improve my life, fuck off. Again, I say fuck off respectfully and lovingly. Fuck off. Let's not waste each other's time. But if I'm going to talk life into anything, right? It's because it's reciprocal and it makes sense. At the end of the day, it's got to make sense. And I've raised too many fucking men. I don't know what these women are out there doing, raising these men, but you raise these men up and you put them out in the world and they're good for shit. They're good for nothing. They're big babies. Big fucking babies. They're constantly looking, talk life into me. Help me build. I need a struggle buddy. Help, help, help. Help, help, help. And I'm done. I'm done doing that. So I need somebody who's hecho y derecho. So yeah. I agree with you, Don Levant. I got a lot to offer, but right now it's about me. If you can't get me from A to B, leave me the fuck alone so I can get there myself. Because I can get there myself, right? And I can get there faster with a guy that has a bigger plan, a bigger network, a bigger wallet, right? And it's just common sense. Why would I waste time again? You know what I mean? I can't do it right now. That's why I said see me in 3 years, right? But by then I'll probably be fucking my personal trainer.
Right.
All right, Miss Polly. How are you, darling? What you got to add?
I will. I have to tell you guys.
For the record, not my current personal trainer.
Not the current. Okay, not the current one, guys.
Not the current one.
The expensive one.
The expensive one. I'm not walking like Tyson Beckford. My guy now, I love him, but he ain't it.
Oh. Goodness. Well, it's lovely to see you guys. I've been working real hard out here trying to But I wanted to chime in. I'm out of town, but I want to chime in.
Okay.
Because I know you're talking about the finances, and I've been listening to you guys all last couple weeks now when you've been doing all your shows. So I will tell you, when it comes to financials, a lot of times poly is overlooked, and I will tell you why. Because people think that, okay, well, what if I want to start this relationship with a woman and then get another woman? And you hear it all the time. And we're like, why are you coming to me? And you see this a lot, unprepared, no plan, no money, and then you're asking two women to help you supplement your lifestyle that you want, so that you can have a poly life, but it's really you supplementing. And that's that fake poly that I always speak against, and I get very agitated about, because I see it a lot, unfortunately, in a lot of poverty areas. I'm going to say poverty. I'm not even going to say black. I'm going to say poverty, where you see someone saying, "Hey, I got a plan." It's like your boyfriend coming to you, telling you to take your tax money and flip it. He's coming and telling you to flip and dip, and then, hey, we can get two girls, and it'll be me, you, and her, and we're going to be all cool and going out these places. And I've seen women get scammed. They've already built themselves up a little bit, got their credit a little right. A man come in, talk a little bit, and tell him that he wants a poly situation, and then he starts using her credit card, getting things like this. I even did like a little video response on one. One lady got taken. She moved out to see the man. He was in Georgia, moved out there with him and his stripper girlfriend, and he was asking to use her name to get like Lamborghinis and stuff like that in her name. But she wasn't even allowed to use her own money, because he's like, put it in my bank account and we're going to share it. But there's no act. It was crazy. So when these men are doing this kind of stuff, like you said, this foolishness, and then talking about this is the poly way to really get themselves in a better position. And then they're saying that these women are stupid for doing these things and all. It's like a real bad cycle. But it triggered me when I heard just talking about not being prepared. You coming into taking care of two women, and in a traditional way, guys, if you know poly, the women aren't supposed to be really working. So you should be prepared to take care of two women and children. So please stop telling these women that they gotta work while you got two of them at home pregnant. That don't even make sense. Don't even make sense at all. So
what Miss Polly is saying is actually, I've seen it the last 2-3 years. I actually got in an argument with a guy about it, because I live alone, and I live pretty well, and I live alone, and this guy, he's in a poly situation, but his situation was more so, I'll just flat out say it. Yeah, it's like maybe he lives with like maybe 3 or 4 girls, and they all split bills. I was like, oh, so you have roommates. So that's your hustle. You have a nice big home, but so instead of like paying a whole lump sum of $1,500 or $2,000 on a mortgage, you're paying like maybe like $100 or $400. That's the hustle. He was like, no, you gotta understand, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I don't have to understand anything. You have to understand what you're in. And if that's your thing, just call it what it is. But don't try to.
He's having sex with him, Heron. He's having sex with him too.
You're having sex with your maid and your roommate. Me, I'm home alone. I have sex with women and I ask them to leave. You know what I mean? Or stay. You know what I mean? We're not in the same situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, I could bring in 2 women, but I don't want. You know what I mean? That's just not where I am right now. But the point is that, yes, Miss Polly is right. I've seen that hustle for the last 3-4 years, man.
Well, Haran, let us know when you can pay all the bills and me and Lily are moving. We do a little poly.
I can do that right now. Look, listen, I told you.
We can poly. Let's just pack all our shit, Lily. Let's just get. We will be there. We're in St. Louis.
I told you. You show me that. You show me another plate like that, and we go together, man. Don't be showing me no food porn like that, man. You can keep that to yourself.
Oh my God, we do cook. Kevin,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Lily.
Well, I was going to say, this is why when I'm talking to young ladies and mentoring them and things like that, this is why I always stress the importance on them. Like, just like I feel like the men have their set of things that they need to work on, and one of them is the finances, you know, because women are naturally hypergamous and things like that. That's one of the things that they need to work on. Mm-hmm. With the women, I always express to them like the importance of working on self-worth and self-esteem, because those men that you're talking about, those hobosexuals, they can sniff out someone who has a low self-esteem, low self-worth, desperation energy. They sniff it out. They're predators. They literally sniff it out. Mm-hmm. And so
I know one of them personally. Haran, I spoke to you about him. He gets women at their lowest fucking point, and he thinks because he's not malicious or evil, he thinks that, you know, he's one of the nice guys, it's okay. But he's very good at getting women at their lowest fucking point.
I'm glad you just said something, Jen, about nice guys. I had a conversation about this earlier. Because you know those nice guys in the manosphere, they always want to drive that point home about, you all want the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and you're not the nice guys. You overlooking the nice guys, the nice guys, nice guys, nice guys, nice guys. Mm-hmm. What those nice guys are the equivalent of if I were to say, like, if I come to the panel and be like, oh my God, you guys, Jen hit me. Jen hit me. She beat me up. You see, I have a black eye, and they're like, oh my God, Lily, like Jen hit you. Oh my God, that was so horrible. She's such a horrible person. But I done left out the fact that I done ran across the room with the machete. You know, I got the piece in the other hand. You know, trying to trip you up. You know, and pulled your hair. Right? I left that part out. That's how the nice guys are. Yeah, you may be a nice guy and all, but sir, you don't got no money. Sir, you can't put up a whole conversation. Sir, have you perfected your stroke game? Sir, like it's so many other things other than, so drop that nice guy thing, because when we hear that, we already know that nice thing is coming with a whole bunch of other
it's a red flag. It's a red flag. When I see men complaining, and men complain a lot on social media about being the nice guy, it's a red fucking flag. It's a red flag. I want to read this. Georgie, you got to leave us? Okay. Well, thank you for being here and contributing. We will see you mañana, hopefully.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night. Kevin Samuels Ghost says, if we are using the job analogy, can you explain why some women will work at a job that maybe is fun and exciting, aka dating a Tyrone, but doesn't have great pay or isn't going to lead to career growth? I think we kind of covered that, where we said, you know, a man can be a C and be lacking something. Right. So there's something about Tyrone, whether it's his looks or his edge, right, that is interesting to that woman, right? He has something. And that's why I said earlier, I got good news, right? You can be a C and not have money. You can be a C and not have looks, but you have to have something. So when a woman indulges with the Tyrone that, you know, doesn't have a future, he has something. Yeah. He has something that throws him in that C category. He may have edge. He may have he may be super confident. He may have a good stroke game. He may have a good body, or he may have money and be lacking the others. So that's probably why she's with the Tyrone. I also want to grab this comment. Black Republican says, Jen, there is 168 million women in the USA. 113 million of you are responsible for 21 trillion of USA debt. Of the 31.46 trillion, that is 67% no women. Guess what, Black Republican? Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, that just gave me a headache.
Right. Nobody gives a fuck. It's funny that, and this is just a lack of creativity in the manosphere and a lack of having topics. So what they do is try to find fun facts about how women are bad in society, right? That's what they do. These guys in the manosphere, they literally scour the internet. Like, let's find all the, fun facts. They try to find like the bad feminine facts, right? That means diddly squat. Women are still going to be hypergamous. The man with the most toys is always going to win over you. That is nature. Nobody gives a fuck about the debt in America. Everybody's in fucking debt. Everybody got credit card bills. No, when I tell you nobody gives a fuck, America doesn't even care about the fucking debt they owe to other countries. What are you talking about? Nobody gives a fuck. Now, these are fun facts, fun feminine facts to show that women are bad for society, but that will never change. Women are always going to be hypergamous, and the man with the most toys is always going to beat you. C will always beat you. That is life. That is nature. If we had nothing, if there were no trains and cars and boats, right? And we were all living dirt poor in fucking caves, the motherfucker walking in with 2 buffalo instead of 1 is going to get the attention of the women in the tribe. That is life. Now you can walk in with your little buffalo or the little buffalo baby. But the motherfucker that walks in with lugging those 2 buffaloes that he killed is gonna get the attention of the women. And it doesn't matter how many buffalo hooves she owes to the tribe. Doesn't matter what she owes to the tribe. That guy is still going to get her attention. And if she's the hottest chick in the cave, he's going to go after her. That's just life. So what the fuck? The million trillion and women are responsible for the trillion. Nobody gives a fuck.
Like what was the response supposed to be like? Oh my God, I didn't know that. I need to start making
God, I better pay that AT&T bill from 15 years ago because a man's not going to want me.
Let me call Mr. A back. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Can I speak on the job analogy real quick from my own perspective?
Yes, sir.
It's really funny that you would bring that up because I've been working in technology for about 20 years. You know, I mean, I made a considerable amount of money for people in the tech world, and for all intents and purposes, I would be considered a successful person. But I have never once in my life, of the 20 years, even when it was a bit exciting, of the 20 years that I have worked in technology, I never once felt an incredible moment in it as I felt ripping a guitar on stage broke as hell. Never once. It was never that degree of intensity. It was never that expelling of demons. It was never that thing, that shit. You know what I mean? That you know, just having 24-hour runs in the studio and, you know what I mean, running the meetings and the adrenaline rush of sex after a gig. Like, it is literally an adrenaline rush. It is literally like a drug. And I've never in my life ever experienced that. And if that is anything like what women feel when they date these motherfuckers, you know what I mean, that you do keep, you know what I mean, complaining about, there is your answer.
I think I felt that way when I'm in a film and I rap my character, you know, and it's like such and such is rapped and then everybody claps. I get that rush. Or at the premiere when everybody's like, I get that rush, right? Of everybody at the premiere and everybody talking to you. And it's like, the character and blah, blah, blah. Or when I rap on set, I have felt that way. This is gospel. I have to highlight this. And I may cut this and put it on a separate video. This is so important. I learned it the fucking hard way. Okay, please learn this without having to experience it. Don Levon says, like I said, a man has to have a plan for you and him and do them both at the same time. Otherwise, don't, ladies, don't fall for that shit. The usual, you help me, and when I get on, we will be good. Nah, he will be good and fuck you. I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen it and experienced it. Do not do it. Do not help. It's a red flag that a man's even asking for your fucking help. That's the red flag right there. But because we're subservient and nurturing, okay, honey, I'll help you. And then when you're up, you'll pull me up. No, the man that's asking for help already has a certain mentality. And you have to understand that he's coming in with that mentality of, I couldn't do it by myself. So bitch, you help me. He's already coming in with that mentality, okay? Now, a man that's like, yo, I can't even fuck with you like this, shorty, because I got to get on. Then I'll swing back. Would have came back for you, okay? Should have given me more time, like Drake said. Like, it's like, let that motherfucker come through and feel fucking embarrassed that he can't take you to the next level.
Right.
Okay? That I've dated one man in particular who wasn't even fucking embarrassed about how broke he was. That was a sign. That's a red flag. However, I am Latina and we are raised to be subservient and worship the kings, even if they don't have kingdoms. So I was naive and dumb and was like, oh, maybe he's just in a bad place right now. No, some motherfuckers live and exist in a bad place. Okay, this is some friendly advice. I experienced this myself. When a man's not even embarrassed that he can't put you in a better position, don't do it. Red flag, get the fuck on and away from them. So I agree with Don Levon wholeheartedly. Don't fall for that. You help me out with X, Y, and Z, because women are the vision, right? Men are the power, but women are the vision. We can tweak you and make you better and get you ready for the world, right? Do not do it, because now you're dealing with a man who's a completely different man. And he won't think twice about saying like, whatever, I'm a new man now. Don't do it. Don't do it. Been there, done that. Please don't do it. I am begging you.
That
Don't
comes
do
with
it.
That definitely comes with Asian experience. I think get to this age, we've experienced that. Before we even experienced, we've seen it many times. Still seeing it right now with people, like right now in real time.
No.
Oh, I know
Don't
what
do
I'm
it.
saying. And if the other thing with them ladies, I'm gonna add to that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, whatever you do, don't get with them. Don't make them your boyfriend and all the other stuff. But I also be cautious about having sex with them as well, because typically he is the homosexual who's perfected the stroke game, and they are. You just be careful how much time you give them with your ear, your coochie, or whatever, because they are good. Like, they are good at they perfected that craft instead of perfecting the craft of getting money and that is their hustle. You are their hustle. Yep. Just understand that. So if you go to sleep with them, don't even let them spend the night. Just tell them go.
Yeah. Don Levon preaching tonight. Don Levon preaching. He said, women that say, I don't need a man to help me pay my bills, you will find and attract a man that will not help you pay your bills, guaranteed. Don Levon is preaching tonight. There are no nice guys. There are good men and bad men. I believe that. Just good men and bad men. I don't want to hear nothing about you nice. Ooh.
And especially if you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the guy saying I'm the nice guy, let somebody else call you nice. So yeah, but if you're saying it, no. Bad.
I am nobody's prince. I am nobody's Prince Charming. Absolutely not.
What's up, World Kings? World Kings in the building. Haven't seen you in a minute, in many moons. Hope you're well. Hope your family is well. Blah blah, just blah blah blah. And thank you for being honest, guys, with the A, B, or C. You know what I mean? These conversations need to be had because a lot of people are in denial. So maybe you can inspire other men. Haran Zamalko, can you explain to us? You said that you've been all three. Very political answer, but I like it anyway. Can you elaborate when you knew, right? Because you have to have self-awareness. Have self-awareness. Okay, denial is a motherfucker. So can you elaborate on when, briefly, because I know we're going to close soon, but when you were A, B, and C, and how you knew that you were A, B, and C? How'd you have that self-awareness to know you were A, B, and C?
I knew I was B when they knew of my reputation, and they tried to not, how do you say, jump on the train, but try to make it a little bit harder for me. They tried to, play a little cat and mouse with me, see how far I would go.
And that's what? Which letter?
B.
Okay.
I was B.
Okay.
I was A usually when they accepted the fact that I wasn't shit. You know what I mean? When they got sick and tired, when they were like, fuck this dude, and he's not going to do this, he's not going to grow up, he's not going to whatever. That's usually when I'm A. And I was C. I was C when I was out there doing heavily, when I was out there in the game musically, man. You couldn't tell me otherwise. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And in the beginning of the when I got into tech too, still ain't, still feel that way about myself now. I guess now I'm just more slowed down. Kind of like that old player with war stories. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm not compelled, you know what I mean, to go out and prove anything per se, but yeah, when I was, out there performing, yeah.
Okay.
So let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. Anyone can answer this. I would like to hear Haran. I think I'm about to open up another can of worms here. But we can make it brief. What is the female equivalent of a bee? What does that look like? And how do they work their way to a C?
Okay. Okay.
Be a C, ladies. Be a C. Life is easier.
There's okay. I'm gonna just keep it real. There's a CC, and then there's C-ish. She kind of built her way into that. You know what I mean?
But Lily said, what's a B?
Okay, so a B would be like, maybe like a nice good 6, 7. She's got some nice, pick-me-ish vibes going on. You know what I mean? She ain't she doesn't, when she opens the door, dudes ain't like tripping over themselves, throw their shot, back to back. But, she does well for herself. I'm not gonna lie, man. You gotta be real down in the dumps to be an A as a woman, though. You gotta be real down in the dumps. Like nobody is trying to smash. Like you ain't got no options. But a C, that's like Halle Berry, Megan Good. That's
leave celebrities out of it. What's a C?
Well, a C is yeah. This for me, a C is like, oh my God. When she walks through the door, like, oh my God, no, I'm not leaving until I shoot my shot. I'm not leaving until she meet me. You know what I mean?
Okay. Like, until she meet me.
Exactly, until she meet me. You know what I mean? That's a C.
Those are great explanations. Black Republicans said for a B is Philippine and Thailand women. Those are prostitutes, honey. Okay. Those women will be whatever you want them to be, long as you're paying.
Y'all love going to Thailand.
You can't include prostitutes because a prostitute will be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. How much money? $40. T, U, V, W, X. I need $50. Y and Z. Now you know my fee. Won't you next time? G, F, E. Like you can't include prostitutes, honey. Okay, so let's flip the question before we close.
Black men.
Okay. You don't want no blacker men? We will take your blacker men. Lily, don't get me started. I almost made it through the stream without doing it. We will take your blacker men's. Black women's? You don't want the blacker men's? Send them to the Philippines. We love them here long time. Black men's, you want the girlfriend to treat you right? Come to the Philippines. And we will suck your peen morning, noon, and night to keep your balls empty. Passport. Ciao, don't get me started. Listen.
Old to me.
And me neither. I'm telling you, I have to do a whole fucking skit. I promise you I will. I promise I'm gonna give y'all that. Ladies, just so guys, because we're constantly teaching here, each one to each one. When have we dealt with A, B, or C? What made them A, B, or C in our world? We could be brief. When have we seen an A and like, hell no? What did that look like? What was the B like? Or we were like, okay, all right, see, I'm picking up what you're putting down. And when was the C? What's your personal experience? A, B, or C?
I'll say when I was younger, I saw more A. that was younger, like maybe like right after, no, you know what, like right when I'm about to get out of high school. I started seeing A's, and I'll put this out there. I call them A's because you're young, you're not thinking, but the men who are a little bit older who can't get a woman their age, so they go back to the younger ones because they have no sense to know that guy, nobody wants him because he's not liking you because he's older and he thinks you're mature too. He's liking you because no one his age wants him, and that's what you're saying. So I've seen those, and one of those, almost got me there. Maybe almost got me in trouble, but was shaking in trouble. But probably then I probably saw A and had no business with that A, and he still is an A to this day. Yeah, still an A, but and people look at him, they're like, oh no, nobody wants to mess. Like everyone knows not to mess with him, but at that, when you're young, he had to go back to get that. And then probably around, I see B's a little bit after that. They're cool. Like you're like, okay, I'll see you, and whatever, not too bad. And then, I kind of stay away from the C. I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust them too much. I don't know. Get a little nervous. Like get a little nervous about C's, but
Okay, but what does a C look like to you? Even if you avoid them, what does it look like?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Very confident, knows exactly what he wants, very assured of himself, which is, these are good things. They're not that, I just kind of be like, it makes me wonder because I can't tell sometimes, because if they're in between a B and a C, that kind of throws me off. But yeah, really confident, good looking man, takes care of himself, and expects the same from their partner. Also, I will say that.
I'll put y'all on in some game though.
Okay.
When it comes to women,
yeah,
B's get married more than C's.
Oh yeah, that's why I said B's the best.
Of course.
When it comes to women, because men will choose a B before a C when it comes to women.
Okay. I mean, they chase C's while they're married, but they will marry that B. So ladies who want a ring and want a ring really bad, be a B. You don't have to go to the gym 3 times a week. Be a B. Right? It's easy in the B. What's up, POP? In chat says, I've seen my mother clean up a bum ass man who she thought had potential. Once he was cleaned up, he became brand new. So a man needs to already be established. It ain't no potential player. Gotta agree with that.
Never date potential. Never, ever date potential.
Ever. Black Republican said, Jen, don't complain with Filipina P and Joanne J. Tell them bitches to come for me, Black Republican. I'm waiting for them to come for me. Tag them to this shit. Send it to them. Send it to them. Tag them.
On the flip side, though,
I won't complain. I promise I won't complain. Tell them bitches, come on already. They taking a long time.
I got to talk about something, though. You know what I mean? On the flip side of things, I knew a dude who, he was in fairly decent shape, and he was dating a girl who would be considered, I guess, a B, and she was a bit overweight, and they started going to the gym together, She dropped all of the weight, and she became a C. They broke up in 4 months.
Yeah, of course.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, you're a new person. You're a new person.
She bounced on him immediately. So the fixer upper shit, it works on both sides of the spectrum.
Remember, I was telling you the divorce rate for BBLs is 90%. So and not just BBLs,
really?
but and then like the gastric bypass, same thing.
The thing I had.
Yeah, the thing you got. Yeah. You're like 5 pounds. You got gastric bypass.
I thought they call it bariatric divorce. Yeah, once the woman gets her stomach basically, I guess, stapled or whatever, or she gets weight loss surgery, the moment she drops the weight, then she usually divorces the guy.
And that happens. That happens. You have to understand you're dealing with a whole new person. That's why it doesn't make sense to help somebody or build a bear. It just doesn't, because you have to understand you just built a brand new person. right? And they're exploring this new life that they have, because being fit or being rich, it's a new life. It's a whole new life. And that we see it happen over and over and over again. We see the quote unquote starter wife. That man is a new man now. He has more options now. Vice versa. Women, they have more options now. You're dealing with a completely different human being. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says, being a C is like being the richest guy in the room. If I'm moving like I'm a C in my environment, then I'm in the wrong environment. I need to be around a better quality of women. Like a C man, then I'm in the wrong. I need to be around a better quality of women. I don't really understand that.
It sounds to me, if I'm getting it right, it sounds like it's a challenge. Like he's challenging himself to step his game up. So it's like kind of like you don't want to be the smartest person in the circle. Is what I'm getting from it. Is that right, Don Levon?
If I'm moving like I'm a C in my environment, then I'm in the wrong environment. I need to be around that quality. I think it's what you said. I think it's what you said, Levy.
Okay.
So is it safe to say that both genders are only as, I guess, as faithful as whatever
the options
box whatever box they fit in, they're only as faithful as their options?
I think it's okay, true, but I think it's even worse for women, because women are constantly looking for the better deal. We can't erase our nature. We are hypergamous. So it's even worse.
Which is why
for women. Because we don't even have to, you can have average at best and average at best, men and women in a relationship, right? But if that average at best female has a man that isn't interested in her and he happens to have more than this guy, she can still get him even without going to get that BBL. So men are, I say it all the time, men are even more at risk of losing a woman. Because we're naturally hypergamous. So it's even worse for women. Not only do we have more options, but a man that has more can easily take a woman from the average at best guy, even if she's average at best. That's just, it's even worse. So, gentlemen, you got to make some moves too that are smarter.
And then you're dealing with right now where a lot of women are looking on social media. They're probably with a really, really great guy that's treating them great and have a good life. But then social media will tell you that something's missing, because look at this trip that this man just sent, my friend, Tamika on. And look at this. Oh, and look what such and such, husband bought for her birthday and blah, blah, blah. And so it leaves this distorted view sometimes if we're not careful. Because women are naturally hypergamous, those images, if not put in the proper perspective, can lead you to thinking that something's missing in your relationship when it's really not the truth. So that's just something to be aware of, and that's just for all of us when it comes to these things, these machines that they're not spitting out truth.
Kevin Samuels Gold says, B women are friendly. They interact with you, and when you flirt with them, they flirt back. A C is usually self-absorbed. She knows she got it going on and won't be as flirty with you. Atheist, amen, amen. Lily, did you talk about your A, B, and C and what made them A, B, and C to you?
No, because I was trying to get out of it.
Oh, no, ma'am. Oh, no, ma'am.
I was trying to get out of it because it's kind of fresh. And
okay.
And so,
even better.
Yeah, so I just broke up with C, right? And so yeah, when I saw C, when I saw him before he approached me, he's fucking 6'9" for God's sake. So I was like, that nigga can get it, right? Like he didn't even say hi yet. He was over on the other side of the room.
That's a C. That's a C.
Already, right? So that's what he was. And then, he did the Haran thing where Haran said, like, he made his way over to me and he was just like, oh no, this day is not going to end before I shoot my shot, right? It was one of those situations. And then, but he did all the things. And the reason why I was like, oh God, it's so fresh. But the thing is, dealing with C's a lot of times, and like that's what I was saying earlier. It's
This comment. I cannot with y'all.
It's like
I'm done with y'all.
Dealing with C's is like, I gotta come back on that because I'm not trying to. I'm just looking at the place that I'm coming from. I don't want to come from a place of hurt.
You're processing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're processing, all right. Don Levant is a fool. You are a whole fool for that one. He said if Black Republican would walk into a crack house, he would be a C, but if he walked into the Four Seasons, he would be an A. I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all.
Oh, but B is who I told you about, Haran. That's B. And B's awesome. B and I have like the best friendship, all kind of ship, lots of ships going on. And it took time. And that's why our bond is so solidified through anything and anyone. Like B is my rock, you know? So
Understandable.
BK Brown said, that's not true. I always had options going back to middle school. I'm a faithful person, even if it didn't last long. Everyone ain't grimy. What does that mean, BK? Are you B or C? I don't know what that means. All right. So Lily's still processing. I'll do my A, B, and C if I can think about them. I say A, it's like probably 90% of the dudes that DM me are A.
Oh God, yeah.
90%. Like after I did that Kendra show, like flooded. Like the majority of men sit at A. Just sit at A. Their looks automatically, I'm like, no. If I go check out their Instagram, it look like they ain't about shit. A, usually no swag, no style. They look fucking boring out the gate. They may even look nice appearance, like, you know, they're clean or whatever, but then you observe their lifestyle and it's like, oh, I would fucking get bored with you. I can kind of get the vibe from you're going to be that guy that takes me on a couple of nice dates in the beginning. And after a while, you're going to be watching your fucking sports on the weekend. You know what I mean? You're going to be, it's just, I can see that vibe from a mile away and I get bored easily. Like I'm like Don Levant, I get fucking bored easily and I don't want to waste your time and my time. I am a free fucking spirit. I'm a wild spirit. I like having a good time. We don't got a lot of time on this planet. I'm not playing wife with you. I don't like that life. I don't like monotony. It's a killer. It's a slow killer. So those are A's for me. The guys that look disheveled, or look like they don't care about their own fucking bodies. They just look like they're not about shit. And I could pick that up very quickly. The B's, I can say my long-term relationships, 13 years, 5 years, 11 years were B's. They were B's. They were the guys where I was kind of like, I don't know. I guess I would date you, whatever. Right. And then they were like, they did really cool things for me and we dated. Like they worked on getting me. And I was like, okay, this is cool enough. The C's are what I described earlier. They just have that swag, that confidence. They had something. If they didn't have money, they were musicians. If they or had great bodies or the sex was out of this world. If they weren't all that in appearance, they usually had money or status or a network or a commanding presence, right? And I've dated short guys. Who had amazing presence and swag. That's why I said C is not one particular look, but you have to have something. You have to have something. The problem is that A's want to be C's and they don't have something. You got to have, you can't come with nothing, like nothing at all. And the A's, in my opinion, have nothing at all. Nothing. They don't have looks. They don't have swag. They don't have money. They don't have, you know what I mean? Now you could slip in there, right? An A could slip in there if he got a little bit of looks, but you'll soon find out that he's an A. So the C's are like Lily said, automatically tall guy, get the looks, you know what I mean? We already like, oh, he could get it, right? Them guys are C's, the ones that women see and we're like, oh my God, girl, I met this guy. Those are the C's. So that's been my experience. But I do agree with the panel. Like B is the best place you can be. I think it's better for longevity. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, B is where you want to be. C is exciting. He's risky, probably not as loyal as B is going to be, but you have to understand that B can get boring and monotonous. Okay. So unless you're built for the long haul, unless you're planning to love that man, no matter how fucking boring he gets, he's going to bore you. And women file for divorce 75 to 80% of the time. They want to go and be free. Right.
I just want to say a few things. Um, just as a man such as myself from a particular perspective, and I'm not gonna, slap a moniker on this shit. You can call it whatever you want to call it. There are a certain sect of men who need to eat the world. And when I say that, they need the constant rush. They are, for all extensive, or a better term, apex predators in a sense. They need to win. They're competitive. They need the rush. And a lot of times those guys, when they try to fit into the concepts of society and so on and so forth, you can still see that energy in their eyes that they're trying to control and so on and so on. But there are areas in their life where they have that outlet, where they need to expel that energy, whether it's the gun range, jumping out of a damn airplane, being in a shark tank, and being surrounded by sharks, philosophy, music, whatever it is, there are certain guys who need that, and people around them can feel that energy. These are the guys who become CEOs. These are the guys who become drug lords. These are the guys who become rock stars. These are the guys who, do all that stuff, actors and so on. There's a certain energy that has to be implanted in you, and it is not learned. I'm telling you right now, it is not learned. It has to be something that you have to feel that's missing in your life, and you want to go back out there and go get it, because if you don't get it, you still feel there's a hole in you. And personally speaking, I have felt that way for quite some time, where I felt like a caged animal, because I had to do what I need to do in order to feed myself, feed my kid, do whatever, and so on and so forth. I had to adhere to the rules, in a sense, in order for things to go a certain way. Outside of that, like I said, I'm a recovering alcoholic for a reason. You know what I mean? I live my life to pedal to the floor. Most people can't understand that or survive that. So it is in your best interest to be an A or a B. It really is. You know what I mean? Because if you're a particular guy who needs to jump out of the window, a risk taker, and so on, it's exciting for some a period of time for some people, but after a while, people don't trust you. People don't trust you, because really, sometimes you can just be unpredictable. Sometimes women are, they like to go home to a guy who's predictable. They like to go home to a guy who knows is going to be there, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, they still want to go out there and have fun with that exciting guy, because women like to feel good, man. They like to feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Go ahead, Miss Polly. No, go ahead.
And I apologize. After I say this, I do have to run. I'm visiting my mom in Denver, but I will say, and this is kind of, I love being on these panels, and then like I try to say my part as if I was monogamous, but I like you said, like a lot of the things too, because I'm a person that be like, I enjoy the people I'm with, and I go through different phases in my life, because obviously I'm transitioning, and I can see myself growing. And when I have different partners, though, I get to experience those different things with everyone, and to add a new partner or whatever, how long it is. And even in those moments, even with the separation from some partners, sometimes it's even rekindled. So those bees who become boring, maybe they don't see me for 6 months. Boom, I'm back again, and now there's something different. So sometimes even like if people think, even I know Bali Life, we all try to promote it, but we don't have to. But just the idea that you can actually interact with people, in different times of their lives and have a different experience with them is something that like I'm really open to too, because me now is not the same me 5 years ago, and me in 5 more years, I could be connecting with someone on a total different level. And I feel like that is a place for me that's a good place, so I can enjoy people, because I just love people, and not just on a sexual level, just like going out and meeting people, interacting with them, and that's what makes it for me, even as a woman, be able to find different kind of interesting people and have that fling, if it's 8 months with the C, and then say, you know what, but my B's, they're down to ride, and it is what it is. So just want to put that out there, guys. And okay, well, thank you guys for having me. I'm gonna run away. So
Thank you, Miss Polly. Good to see you.
Yes.
Come through all the time, okay?
Yes. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. I wanted to pull this comment. Kevin Samuels Gold says some people are attracted to dysfunction and drama. Let's dissect that. I just wanted to add something to that really quickly, because I know we're going to close. People are attracted to excitement, right? People are attracted to excitement to the point where they will take that even if it's dysfunction and drama. Right. But the drive is the excitement, right? The excitement, and drama and dysfunction is exciting. Right? It's exciting. And we want that adrenaline rush so bad. Sometimes we'll take it as dysfunction and drama. Now, there's one that's not healthy, that dysfunction and drama. And then there's another one that is like, I just want adventure. I want a guy who's spontaneous. I want a guy who's going to, have sex with me on a balcony. I want a guy who owns a motorcycle. I want a guy who, jumps off a cliff, right? So just bear in mind that women like excitement, right? It doesn't have to be drama or dysfunction. I'm just saying that sometimes women will gravitate towards the drama and dysfunction because it's exciting. And she doesn't know how to get excitement. She's not, developmentally. So she'll take the asshole, right? That's because you guys say that a lot. Women prefer the asshole. They don't prefer the asshole per se. They prefer the excitement that comes with that quote unquote asshole. So just be exciting. You don't have to be dysfunctional to be exciting. You don't have to be dysfunctional to be exciting.
I had to understand this about me because I was that person who needed dysfunction, and it was something else that they said, dysfunction and drama. I needed that, and when I was younger. But then energy cannot be created nor destroyed, just transferred. And so I had to learn how to transfer that energy into a more healthy version of excitement with age, because at this stage I can't stand drama and toxicity. I can't do it. I won't do it. I refuse with anybody. I don't care if it's my own parents. I won't do it. So it looks different now. It does look like the skydiving or the spontaneous trips and things like that. Because I'm a recovering addict, I have to have those things. I still like to get high. I just don't get high off of drugs, but I still love to get high. I always tell people, you think I stopped doing drugs because I stopped liking them? That's not why I stopped. So I just had to redirect my energy. So that's just something as we age, if you want to reconsider how you get your excitement, consider.
That's real talk. That's real talk. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, cam up one day, Marcos Orlando, because you said you a C. I want to see. All right, guys, so let's close. This was amazing. I hope people learned A, B, and C, what they are, and how they can maneuver through A, B, or C, or stay at A, B, or C. The choice is yours. Just don't be an A and think that you're a B or a C, because you're wasting everybody's time. All right, guys, so we will be back mañana. Any closing statements? If not, we are out of here.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. All right, so good night. Thank you for holding us down in the chat and on the panel. Don't forget, you can always come up, you guys, okay? You don't always have to talk shit via the chat, but you can stay there if you're comfortable there. Don't forget to support the show on the Block with Jen Cash App. And Black Republican is such a whiny little bitch, respectfully. Come back tomorrow, Black Republican. Yeah, you're all over the place. All right, guys. So tomorrow we will announce the topic in the community section. Make sure you're following all of us online on Instagram. Our names are right there on the screen. We are not hard to find. Follow so you can see more of us and learn more about us. Okay. Thank you for holding me down in the chat. All right, guys. Good night. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. Thank you for that late super chat, Dwayne Rose. All right, guys, if you're still here for any reason, hit that like and subscribe and come back mañana. Hope you enjoyed the show. I sure did. Every single show, we are learning something about ourselves or each other. That's what makes the block really, really dope. Okay. So we're out of here. See you mañana. Good night, A, B, or C.